Sholver Travel Futures, it was a project that came out of Oldham Energy Futures, which was a workshop which I think was really useful actually. Everybody who went to it I think learned a lot, and we decided that one of the best things that we could do for the area would be to create a sort of like residents action group that would work to improve travel options and like in ways sort of like improving public transport service, which is a real problem here because it's quite an isolated area. And things like improving pathways and cycle paths because we have a really nice natural space, but it's not very well maintained and it's not very known about, I think. So that was a big thing that we wanted to do, was to increase people's ability to use the paths that are in the area for health benefits and the environmental benefit, and just because it's a nice place and people should be able to do that. One of the ways that we've worked to do this is to sort of build relationships with like local decision makers in organisations like TFGM and First, with the council. We've had quite a lot of support from the Public Rights of Way officer for Oldham and the Sustainable Transport lead, I think, which we've found really positive, which has been very encouraging, and we think there's a lot of potential for like changes and gains to be made in the future, which is very motivating. And I think the next thing that we're hoping to be able to pull off is a project which uses a sort of like resident designed map of walking routes in the area, which will help to raise people's awareness and signpost different routes, the ways that you can get to different places on foot that people maybe aren't aware of, and as part of that to improve the signposting on the ground in the area, because we think that would have quite a large impact on how much people are able to use walking as a means of travel. It's very part of the history of the area. I think we do have a lot of footpaths around here that in the past will have seen a lot more use than they do currently, so we would quite like to protect and preserve that kind of local heritage as well as the options for travel. So we're really quite proud of what we're doing at the minute. We hope that it's going to carry on long into the future. Things like this sometimes are the nudge that makes you go outside of your own little rut that you normally kind of, pass through the same places and stuff. And I think that when we did a similar type of like action or activity or whatever with Oldham Energy Futures and went around looking for things sort of like where there were solar panels and stuff, I think that kind of the way that something prompting you to sort of go away you haven't been before, or a way that you wouldn't normally, and kind of have your eyes open to what are you seeing, what's good and what's bad in the area. I think that kind of does give you that opportunity to sort of go, oh, I didn't know we had this kind of thing.
I think it's good to get local people out here because we do have a lot of new people move into the area. There's new houses being built around, so and they're not aware of it. So yeah, and some people, locals, who don't know about it.
If everybody's involved in organising it and coming up with it, then we know that it's what is needed and wanted.
But they can walk around the areas and
think,
oh, well, we could do this here, or we could do that there.
Yeah.
It's more ideas, isn't it?
People do interesting stuff in Sholver. I think it'd just be good if we knew a bit more about what other people in the area are doing, basically. So yeah, if that's sort of like everybody come to our events and to our meetings, and then that way we can tell each other.
Yeah.
That suits us.
We've made connections with the Sustainability Officer and Public Rights of Way Officer to improve footpaths and walking routes within Sholver. We want to ensure these routes are mapped and well signposted to encourage people to use them. We're also applying for funding to create a map of Sholver which will show some of them as fantastic places in the area and walking routes people can take to get there.